My wife, 33 female, hid the fact that she got sterilized from me, 33 male. We've been married for 13 years and the whole time we discussed having kids. Even prior to that, we came up with Nate. Today I went to get a few things on town and ran into her sister, 42 female, at the grocery store. We did some light small talk then moved on to the adoption topic. I gave her the updates and she started smiling. When I asked why, she said she was honestly surprised that I didn't leave my wife after hearing she got sterilized and that I was a good man. Didn't take long for her to realize I actually didn't know about it and she quickly excused herself. When I got home I questioned my wife on this and she broke into tears and told me the story of how, before she met me, she was dating some abusive guy who didn't want to use any condoms during 6 or 8 from how she described it, so he forced her to go to the doctor and get it done. I'm just really confused right now and I don't know how to handle this. I don't want to think she's lying about this, but she has lied about something big before, so I don't know. Update: I know I didn't respond to most of the comments, but I did read all of them. Though I've recently opted for a more stable job, my previous one required me to do a lot of traveling for extended periods, so it is plausible that she could've done it during one of these, but honestly I can't pinpoint a time when she seemed to be recovering or something. She doesn't have a scar on next her belly button, but I'm not entirely sure about others. After speaking to her again about it, she says she got an ESHA, and if I want it she can provide proof, but she won't forget this. Which pisses me off, but that's fine. I've tried contacting her sister again, but I'm almost certain she's ghosting, which also makes me think she's spoken to her. I don't know for certain what I'm going to do, but I'm really leaning onto the divorce option at this point. Right now we are trying a bit of separation. My ex-boyfriend put porn of me, 29 female, on the internet, and my fiance, 29 male, wants to break up with me over it. What can I do? My fiance thinks that porn is immoral, his words. He thinks sharing it, making it, watching it, all of it is bad. He said in the beginning of our relationship sometime that if I watched porn it was a deal breaker. I thought no big deal, because I don't, and I'm not a pornster. I'm not entirely sure why he feels this way. It's a little weird, because it's not a religious thing. He's an atheist, and it's not some weird control thing, because he's very respectful and lets me be as independent as I want. And it's not a sexism thing. He's respectful to women, and is pro-choice, etc. So it's a bit weird he feels this strongly about it. Well, when I agreed to not watch porn at the beginning of our relationship, I had forgotten that one time when I was like 19 I got drunk with my then boyfriend and let him record us having sex. I had completely forgotten about it, and my boyfriend was pretty cool and didn't seem like the type to post it online without my permission or share it. We also broke up relatively amicably. He wanted to move to Japan and I didn't, and it just ended there. But he either shared it with friends or posted it himself recently, because somehow it's up on the internet now. My fiance got a text from one of his friends that he found a video that looked exactly like me. My fiance initially told his friend off. I know this because I saw the text chain and said he didn't want to hear about his friend's porn habits. But his friend kept pushing and said that he thought it was me. Well, my fiance ended up watching it just to see, and then confronted me and yelled at me that I betrayed him. I didn't know what he was talking about, and he yelled at me more, which is the first time he's actually yelled, and showed me. It was in fact me, and it had over 50,000 views. I tried to explain to my fiance that I didn't make that to be posted. It was supposed to be private, and it was 10 years ago, and I hadn't done anything like that since. He said that I shouldn't have been recording myself in the first place, and that if I did it meant I wanted it to be public. I told him again that it was supposed to be private, and that I didn't ever want anyone else seeing, and he said that I was making stuff up, and that no one would record themselves just to watch for themselves, which is definitely wrong. He then said he wanted to break up, and that I should move out as soon as possible, then locked himself in the bedroom. It's been 2 hours and he won't talk to me, and I'm getting worried that he actually means it and didn't just have a bad reaction. It wasn't my choice to put it up. I feel like he's being unfair here. What can I do? Or do I just have to accept that after 4 years and marriage planning he's just going to throw it all away for this? Edit. To everyone saying I can sue my ex, I can't because he lives in Japan and has a common name, as well as not having his face shown in the video. So there's no proof he even did it. My 20 female sisters, 28 female, behavior towards my boyfriend, 21 male, is horrendous. This is going to be long. I'm warning you. I'm angry. I'm frustrated and I'm shaking. I need to write it down and hear some advice. My C's is just so creepy towards my BF. I can't take it anymore. She was really spoiled by my parents when she was young because she was their first child. She always wants everything, and when we were little, she always used to steal my toys / books / clothes etc. I was never allowed to touch any of her things, but she constantly stole my stuff and was always rude to me. My mom for some reason has always preferred her over me and thus, most of the time, I was told to let it go. Due to this, I have lots of resentment towards her, and I don't really like her. I'm honestly sick of her behavior, and I just want some peace and quiet in my house. My mom called me 2 weeks ago, pleading to let my C's stay with me because she doesn't have a job right now and she can't stay alone during quarantine. Both my parents are high risk. My mom has heart problems and my dad is asthmatic. So I thought I should let her stay with me and my BF instead of letting her go to my parents in case she infects them. There's been a few cases where she is, so I didn't want to risk it. Now I'm honestly starting to regret it. Her behavior is creepy and strange and downright disgusting. First of all, she doesn't respect me at all. She's constantly ignoring me while having long talks with my boyfriend. She doesn't leave my boyfriend alone. She flirts with him and constantly tries to touch him by using cheap tricks. When we watch movies, she pushes me away and tries to snuggle with my boyfriend. She slaps his butt when he walks by and loudly tells him how he has a perky little. But she also runs her fingers through his hair every day saying how your hair is so soft or some shit like that. What the hell? These are all just excuses to touch him. She just needs a chance. Another thing she does is ask him if he has abs so she can touch his torso. Or say, did you see this thing I lost? Maybe it's in your pocket, let me see. And proceed to pat his thighs. One time she wanted help with hooking her bra and she just ducking walks out in her underwear. She came to our room and my boyfriend was in the bathroom. The logical thing to do is just ducking. Ask me, I'm her sister. But what does she do? She just waits for my boyfriend and asks him instead, even though I'm sitting right there. I think I looked very upset because my boyfriend just told her no and she went back to her room. She didn't try that again. This is not even all. My boyfriend and I can't even talk to each other without her interrupting us. She barges into our room with no warning. A few days ago, we were trying to have sex and I don't know how the fuck she realized it and starting banging on the door claiming to have a headache. I opened the door and asked her what was wrong. I told her I had pills for it, but she just said she doesn't trust me and she wanted to talk to my boyfriend instead. After disturbing us, she was suddenly completely fine and her headache disappeared miraculously. She just came into our bedroom and started talking to my boyfriend. We were literally half naked and there was no way she didn't know. This is driving me crazy. What does she want? Why is she like this? It's not like I didn't talk to her. I was so angry she interrupted us because she has been doing this since she came here. I was feeling horny and angry. I just told her to get out and that we needed some alone time. I don't want to go into details, but we had a small argument and she started crying. The thing is, she never accepts it. She's completely blind to what she's doing. She denies doing it and sheds tears, which ends up making me feel bad instead. My boyfriend is so uncomfortable by all of this. He just looks exhausted all the time. He's trying his best to be nice, but she's all over him all the time. He's usually very introverted / shy / quiet. He's not very confrontational, and I know this is bothering him. When I talked to him about it, he just commented that it was a bad idea to invite her to stay here. He also said not to invite her ever again. I want to know why she is like this. How can I make her see what she's doing? I'm done dealing with her. I don't want to see her ever again, but she's my parents' favorite child, and no matter how hard I try, I can never escape her. Whenever I try to cut contacts with her, my mom calls me and begs me to forgive her. My mom doesn't want to see her daughters fighting with each other, and she always says how she wants us to be together forever. But I can't do this. How am I supposed to deal with this? Can someone please tell me? My mom is always taking my sister's side in everything, and it's always me who has to be understanding and smart and older, when I'm the younger one here. Please tell me I'm not overreacting. How do I make my mom and sister realize that I'm sick of dealing with this? My 34 female boyfriend, 39 male, wants to fine me $500 for lying about masturbation. For context, boyfriend and I have been together almost 2 years and have lived together 1.5 years. A few weeks ago, 4/6ish, I agreed to tell my BF ahead of time if I was going to masturbate. I did this because he got really upset when I used my vibe in the past, but I'm not willing to give up masturbation entirely. I thought telling him ahead of time was a reasonable compromise. I did something stupid. Monday night I masturbated in the shower while he was asleep. I texted him afterwards and let him know I used my vibe. However, I previously agreed to tell him beforehand. I went back on my promise, and thus I lied to him. Now he is furious. He didn't speak one word to me yesterday. I apologized so many times Monday night after he woke up and read my text. I'm honestly sorry I lied. This morning, I asked how we could repair the relationship, and he says I need to suffer negative consequences since I'm the one who lied. He suggested a fine of $500 which doubles every time I lie. We have separate finances, if that matters. I dismissed the fine out of hand, since I think fining your partner is crazy. He said I needed to come up with a negative consequence instead, since I didn't like his. I think my transgression, while wrong, was relatively minor. I think I should be able to apologize and move on with no further consequences. He said that I should be punished, which is a flag for me. I have a tendency to overreact though, so maybe I'm wrong. I'm worried that I'm being dismissive of his feelings and solution, because I don't like them. Is he being reasonable? What do other couples do when one partner lies? Is there a scale for the seriousness of lying? Or is any lie enough to break trust this seriously?